some real Hitlerian initiatives that are taking place in the United States of America. A judge was arrested for allegedly helping undocumented immigrant evade arrest. Let's take a look at what took place. The FBI has arrested Judge Hannah Dugan over allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest.
Breaking news, the FBI has just arrested a Milwaukee judge accused of trying to help a man evade immigration authorities. In a now deleted post on X, the FBI director writes that Judge Hannah Dugan intentionally misdirected agents. ABC News Justice reporter Alex Mallon has the details. Alex, what do we know so far?
Well, we don't know why the FBI director deleted that post, but we do know from our affiliate in Wisconsin that Judge Hannah Dugan did make her initial appearance this morning. She was charged with 2 federal crimes. That includes concealing a person from discovery and arrest, and the second count is obstruction of federal proceedings. She appeared, her attorney in that court proceeding said that, quote, Judge Dugan wholeheartedly protests the arrest, and the judge ended up actually ordering her released after that hearing. We expect that she will plead not guilty to those charges. But this is a dramatic escalation, obviously, of the Trump administration's, war with the judiciary. They have been previewing the possibility that they would seek charges against any judge or federal officer or even state officers who they say obstruct lawful deportation efforts by this administration. But obviously, this is a dramatic escalation of that. And they detail this. We just got these court charges that were unsealed. Basically, on April 18th, they say that Judge Dugan had an undocumented immigrant set to appear before her in court, and they allege that she helped facilitate him evading ICE officers who were present and ready to arrest him at that court. They say that they were actually able to later arrest him on the street, that he fled them. But now they are bringing those charges, saying that they're formally accusing this judge of trying to help this undocumented immigrant who was charged, facing state charges of assault and battery, and was appearing before her at that time on April 18th. So obviously, we're going to watch the developments. This is going to be a very contentious and closely watched case as we see this administration really take head on this idea that they say that state officials are seeking to obstruct their federal efforts to crack down on illegal immigration.
But first, a Wisconsin judge under arrest and facing charges accused of flouting federal law to help an illegal immigrant. Federal prosecutors say
States' rights, by the way. Yep. Nope. The Guardian reported that the Trump administration reinstated family detention policy in March 2025 with at least 100 migrant families being detained at the Carnes and Dilley detention centers in Texas, including children as young as 1 year old. This is yet another, by the way, she was literally protecting them from a warrantless arrest, detention, and deportation without due process, as a judge should do. This is yet another instance where the Trump administration is directly putting the crosshairs on the judiciary, on the power that judges have. And also, once again, I told you so's are important to maintain here. This is why you should pay close attention when I speak about certain things like this in terms of how the public's attitude will move. Generic ballot, Democrats 47, Republicans 44, hardly into wave territory yet, but suggestive that an environment is beginning to change. A D+3 a year is already a 5-point shift from 2024's congressional result, and immigration is one of his worst issues. Okay? Do you approve or disapprove of the way that Donald Trump is handling immigration? At 51%, immigration is now unpopular. What the fuck happened? It was so popular before. Well, what happened is Kilmar Abrego Garcia happened. Kilmar Abrego Garcia happened, and it's a minus 21% net approval rating, which means this is his least popular issue. Why is this his least popular issue? Because it's the one that the Americans have been fucking screaming about, that got enough Democrats to actually do something about it, that got the media to cover it, and now more Americans are becoming aware of this this unjustifiable immigrant deportation agenda. This is what I kept saying over and fucking over again. the more you put the bead on certain issues, the more Democrats actually go out and fucking protest these things. The more you protest, the more Democrats will actually be asked to do anything about it. And the more Democrats actually do something about it, the more the public will be knowledgeable on this process because the media will finally cover it. And here we are. That's why I always say just looking at approval ratings simply will tell you what Americans are paying attention to and what they're not paying attention to. Do you understand? It doesn't say anything else. Americans don't know the impact of the policies that they push for. Why is genocide not a part of the questions? I mean, it's foreign conflicts. And the reason why Israel is not a part of the question is because this is a New York Times poll. Let's be real. The New York Times is probably the worst newspaper on Israel. It's probably one of the worst legacy publishers on the issue of Israel. Having said that, however, there's additional polls on Israel. Here it is, Data for Progress poll from 4/9 till 4/14. Which approach to the Israel-Palestine conflict do you prefer, even if neither is exactly right? Among Democrats, the U.S. should restrict military aid to Israel until it stops attacking on civilians in Gaza, supports Palestinian rights, and commits to a long-term peace process. The U.S. should continue military aid to Israel and support its right to defend itself, while encouraging efforts to reduce civilian harm and promote long-term peace. Literally 71% say they should restrict military aid to Israel. Under the age of 45, 80% say this. Even among moderates, 62% say that they should restrict military aid. This is as close you can get to a non-issue, okay? Why is this attitude not reflected among Dem leaders? They love the polls, I thought, because they don't love the polls. They don't. They turn a blind eye to those polls because they are too afraid of coming out against Israel. That's just the reality of it, okay? This is one of the most undemocratic positions within either party because I'm willing to bet that even amongst the Republican base, these numbers are obviously not going to be as slanted in one direction, but there's majority support. It says net 51 plus, but in what world was the Palestinian support side 21 plus? Wait, what? 21%? No, what are you talking about? It's a net 51 approval rating. That is an insanely popular position to take. They're saying 71% want this and only 20% want the other side. I've been saying this for months, by the way, because these polls are not new. This attitude is not new. And this attitude, in terms of a complete arms embargo to Israel, has been a prominent fixture of American politics for the past year and a half. And yet, while the election was happening, everyone was aware that this was a very popular position. And yet the Democrats did nothing about it because they wanted the baby murder to continue. Okay? And they were willing to throw away the election to a fascist, incompetent monster to allow Israel to continue doing its unlimited baby murder. Make no mistake. This is something that is completely unforgivable, okay? Completely and utterly unforgivable. So whenever you see the Trump administration taking action such as this one against judges, for example, and someone tries to tell you like, whoa, what about Kamala Harris? She wouldn't do this. It's like, yeah, except Kamala Harris is more responsible for this than fucking you are, than anyone else is, because she would not look at a 70-30 issue and say, I'm in support of the 70% because she wanted the genocide to fucking continue. And she was willing to throw American democracy, or what remains of American theoretical democracy, under the bus.